If you're going to push on, I'm going to kind of occupy your space until you get back.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you just mentioned him. I've got my reservations at the moment for Lisandro. On the ball, Lisandro is very good. Yeah, but him defending in wide areas, there's a concern there. I mean, I know Adama Traore will probably do that to most defenders with his pace.
Yeah,
but I think the fact that Lisandro's very aggressive, very on the front foot, I think he's going to cause problems for the team, because the one way he tried to nick the ball in front of, I think it might have been Raul Jimenez, where Pereira drove through and then messed the pass up. I think Lisandro, as I said, on the ball is good, but I'm not totally convinced at the moment. Obviously, he's got injury issues as well, but he needs to kind of, for me, he needs to be a bit more patient.
I think the more pragmatic you are, the better it is for him. Even though he's quite good on the ball, like you said, in terms of his defensive style, the more pragmatic you are, because then you're in a then your formation is solid enough because you'd have players to cover when he goes after the ball. Yeah. But if you open up against Liverpool,
he's very vulnerable.
Arsenal,
very vulnerable.
There's going to be space in behind. He's going to vacate areas that he shouldn't at certain times.
But this is what I mean. This is why I'm a bit concerned, because Man United leave a lot of space in behind and a lot of space in between the defense and midfield, and he has a tendency to try and nick the ball and be very aggressive. And I think he's going to come unstuck if he keeps on doing that. So,
in terms of I was watching this thing on YouTube, 442. They were talking about obviously how good the Lit signing will be for us, and it said that Lisandro Martinez has been a cost of 6 mistakes throughout the season, and he said, obviously,
this season just got this season now?
No, not this season now. Last seasons. But he's saying that's a relatively low number, but when you're looking at how we play or how we've been and how many chances come against us, that 6 becomes very problematic and it becomes very high. Like if we were conceding less chances at the back, them 6 mistakes, they're just 6 mistakes. It doesn't matter. But considering how much pressure we come under, those 6 mistakes are pretty bad. So I do agree with what you're both saying in terms of he can be a bit rash because obviously of the nature of how he plays. He plays with a lot of heart, and he plays with a bit of little man syndrome at the back, because obviously he wants to show how good he is,
or how strong he is.
Right,
I don't know if it's little man syndrome, because you've got a Saliba, you got a Gabriel, you've got a Kanate, you've got a Van Dijk, you've got defenders that step in and defenders that kind of observe more, that are slightly less aggressive. So he's not as front foot. What's the word? I can't remember the phrase anyway, but just not as aggressive. That might just be his style, and he probably needs a defender to complement that style. Defender that can cover when he vacates the spaces. So if he's not necessarily a bad defender because of it, but I don't think you have had the right chemistry in terms of defensive partners.
That's what I said. But then you can kind of compare it to a Rojo. Rojo was quite aggressive and very front foot. I think
basically he's more or less a more composed version of Rojo, really. I mean, on the ball.
Yeah. And I liked Rojo. I thought Rojo was good. I mean, obviously the injuries didn't help, and then obviously certain managers didn't rate him. But I thought for the times we had him, I thought he was quite.
Wait. This is the thing. How was this year? They didn't rate Rojo, but they rate Lisandro. Why is that? Because Rojo and Lisandro, in terms of the aggression, both do the same thing.
Exactly the same, really.
But
truly.
Obviously, Martinez, because Martinez for me is more of a passion merchant, whereas they probably viewed Rojo as reckless. You know what I mean? But they both do this. They both left-footed. They both aggressive. You know what I mean? So I think Lisandro's
both
probably
could play a
slightly.
good pass. Both could play left back as well. So
I think Lisandro is more composed on the ball in it. Really,
that's actually quite fucked. They're actually pretty much the same.
They're very similar, man. Yeah, both Argentinian.
That's
you know what I mean.
The only difference is one played for Boca Juniors.
Yeah, but again, man,
that's actually a mad comparison. That's a very good shout. Well played, G.
But just quickly before we move on, so we've got another chat from the OA salesman. But yeah, just obviously we talked about him last week. Obviously, Mo Salah breaking the record for the most opening day goals. You know what? Credit has to be given to Salah. You know, he's inevitable, to be honest with you. For me, not the greatest of players, but I think in this Premier League, as I said, man, he's just going to keep producing in his Liverpool team that arguably plays for him as well. You know, and again against Ipswich, I don't think he played that well, but again comes out with a goal, and goals win games. And someone like him, I think, yeah, you do look at him and you think, you know what, every season this guy's going to turn up. So yeah, say well done to Mo Salah, man, for breaking that record.
Couldn't just give a straight compliment. You couldn't just give a straight compliment. You had to put some backhands in there. Just admit that Salah's one of the best players the Premier League has ever seen. Just admit it.
Yeah, he's a Premier legend.
But we know that.
Yeah, no buts. No, if no buts, no maybes. It's just a fact.
Sorry to break your heart. He ain't in the top 3. End of story. He's not in the top 3. That's it. So anyway, the OO salesman, on chemistry, are there any signings you think your teams will regret, i.e. overhyped?
I thought for me, teams in general with that question. I was about to say Chelsea or a whole team.
Yeah, we'll get onto them in a bit. For me, Joshua Zirkzee is going to be a top player. I have no doubts about Zirkzee. You know, that finish just showed it all. And hopefully he starts against Brighton on Saturday. Matthias de Ligt, I think, will be a good signing. Because I think with de Ligt, he's got something to prove, you know, and with players like that, because a lot of the hunger's going out of the game as well. So when you got something to prove, you know, you don't want to make any kind of mistakes. So I'm happy with.
Yeah, but he's asking, do you think you signed anyone that could be?
Yeah, no, I'm going to go into that.
Overhyped.
Yeah, I'm going to go into that. Mazraoui again. I'm happy with that signing. I would say regret. I want to say Lenny Yoro, and I'll tell you why. Because if Lenny Yoro can stay at Man United for, let's say, the next 5 to 10 years, then United are going to get, obviously, their money's worth out of the signing, really. But if in the next couple of years, Lenny Yoro starts saying he wants to move, again, that can be looked at as a regret, because although you are gonna make your money back from him, probably you might have wanted to get someone that is a bit more committed. But I'm just basing it on him staying at Man United and not obviously wanting to go to Madrid.
How many years is his contract for? 4 years?
No. He's got I think he might have a 5-year deal with an option. I think it might be.
Okay. It's longer than
it might be a 5-year deal with an option. So
hold on though. Speaking of that, I think you could also expect Real Madrid to do one of the things where they're like, "Yo, just play out your contract and come to us on a free."
That's why I'm saying it could be a regret, because there's murmurings of Real Madrid before. But I'm hoping that you know. But the thing with Yoro, he's 18. And Man United need to be the team that they should be, and then why would someone like Yoro want to leave? So that's the only only issue there, I would say.
That's the problem with Madrid. It's always because it's Madrid.
Yeah. So do you think it's a case of the club not living up to the players' expectations, or the player also not living up to the club's expectations? Do you think it's a mixture of the two, or is it one more than the other?
Why think?
Either of you.
Honestly, what I think is that some players at the moment will view Man United as a stepping stone club. Other ones will kind of like have a love for something they saw when they was younger, or their dad mentioned to them for the history of Man United. But, for a club that's not in the Champions League, maybe you'll get the odd player who will have faith that it's going in that direction. Like they may like the projects that that they've been sold on. But because of your current situation, you're gonna get a mix of the two. Because if you get any player that like starts balling out, and then the bigger clubs or more successful clubs start coming in for him, it's going to be difficult for you guys to hold on to them.
Yeah.
What I would say, I think if you compare Lenny Yoro and Matthias de Ligt's what, 24 now? Yeah. So de Ligt is looking at this as like his last big chance to be at a big club, because I believe.
Hasn't he had a lot of injury issues?
Not really. Not as much as some other players, but he's been at obviously from Ajax to Juventus to Bayern Munich, but I think he's 24 now, so de Ligt is very unlikely to be looking to move to another club, because he might see Man United obviously as a big team, and you know what I mean, the last team he's going to play that is at the very, very top. And again, he's got things to prove, because the height that he had, could be this could be his last chance, in fact. Whereas Lenny Yoro's still 18, and by the time Lenny Yoro gets to 24, he could be at a level of a Real Madrid, of a Barcelona, and then he might have his head turned. But in that sense, if he does, Man United are still going to recoup the money anyway, so they're not really going to lose out financially from that deal, in my opinion, if he does go to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona. But
well, I'll put it this way. This is what I'd say in that. In fact, how old is he now? 18, 19?
He's 18, Lenny Yoro, yeah.
Okay, so be about 23, turning 24. In 5 years' time, his deal will be up.
Yeah.
Real Madrid come in. He's not even in his prime yet. So Real Madrid to turn around and be like, okay, you've had all that Premier League experience. Now you can start for us. We're going to sign you as a starting player. We're not signing you as a project player. We're signing you as a starting player, and we want you for your prime. So for the next 5, 6, 7 years, he'll be a Madrid player.
But this is the issue. I think if Man United are the club that they're meant to be, by the time Lenny Yoro gets to that age, he might look around and say, you know what, I've got it good here. I might as well just carry on. But if Man United are struggling, it'll give him even more reason to start itching for a move. You know what I mean? And I think he might be a bit of a different case to likes of when United had obviously Ronaldo, or even a South American player, because these South American players just want to go and play for Real Madrid, Barcelona.
I'd say you guys would have to be playing in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like within a season or two, you would have to be. And if you don't reach that target, then I think some of the players, any players that perform well for you that you've just signed, will be looking to jump ship.
But the thing is,
I don't think so. I don't think de Ligt will be.
I'm just going by the ages. For example, de Ligt is of an age where he's got a good contract now, so it'll depend on his aspirations as a footballer. I think players like
but de Ligt has already been at Juventus and Bayern Munich. So my point there is he'll look at this as like a last chance. So even if Man United don't get in Champions League in the next couple of years, I don't believe de Ligt is going to be angling for another move. I think
that's my point. That's my point. He's got a good contract now. Why would he angle for another move?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he won't be. Joshua Zirkzee, I don't think Zirkzee will be either. I think he's someone that he'll happily, what's he now? 20, I think he's 22, Zirkzee. I think Zirkzee will happily stay at Man United for another 5 years, I would say. And obviously, again, if United are not doing what they're doing and he's growing as a player, then he might angle for a move. You never know. I think Lenny Yoro might be the only one, I would say, that I'd keep an eye on because,
I'll give you an example. Let's say you finish the window by signing Ugarte. Yeah. If you don't make it into the Champions League, if you're not playing Champions League football, he's gonna want to leave. If you're not challenging Ugarte, if you do sign him, he's gonna want to leave if you're not challenging for the league or playing regular Champions League football. Joshua Zirkzee will be the same.
I don't think so.
None of these players are like academy graduates who have an amazing love for the club and got this massive connection. They've come here to further their careers. So they've come to play in the Premier League. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not about that, because at the end of the day, these players wouldn't have signed in the first place because they know what club they're coming into.
Do you think that Arsenal could keep Saka if they dropped out the Champions League spots for the next 3 seasons?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a push, man. I think that's a push.
Because